Just beaming in here with my friend Brett Netson. Featured that last weekend. It was a recent pickup from Black Friday. Kick-ass rock and roll. Not sure where these guys are from. I think somewhere in the Midwest. Could be Philadelphia. But fantastic kind of droney psych rock. Yeah, from 2018, the release on that one. 3-track EP right there. Yeah, can you dig it? I don't know if you can dig it, but I can. All right. Let's shut that down. Yeah. So just replaced my my stylus, my needle, if you will, Ortofon Red. So those suckers are rated for 1,000 hours of usage. It's kind of like a car part, right? Oh, who's here, right? Yeah, make yourself at home, buddy. Here, we can share. So anyway, yeah. So 1,000 hours. I bought that thing. But almost 2 years ago. The Fluence, highly recommended. Really excellent buy for the buck for mid-range. I'm not going to tell you the price. Just go to fluence.com, look it up. They should give me something for that. I don't know. They should have paid for my new stylus. But what a difference, man. It just started to skate a bit. Just a little, you can tell when a needle's getting down. So I shut it down and ordered that about a week ago. And it just came. I just rebalanced the turntable and firing it up. So anyway, it's a Friday. Cheers. What do we got going on here? List of questions here, but I'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, it is cheers. This meeting of the Utica Club. It's in session. Colton's here. Get over here, buddy. We're having a meeting. Oh yeah, back in the club. Really exclusive club over here. If you ever come over here to visit, I'll give you a Utica Club. I got a fridge full of them. Keep it high end over here. I'm adjusting my low end tripod. So hey, go Bills. Yeah, right. So anyway, what do we got going on today? A couple things we're going to get to. So right out of the gate, it's not a contest. It's kind of a low end thread, as I call it. No prize. But I watched this guy, Ernie Eldridge, the Trailer Park Pimp. I actually been following him, subscribed for probably a while now. I can't believe he's only at 163,000 subscribers. Come on, let's get him to 164,000. He deserves it. It's Ernie. Get over there, do it. So anyway, he shows a lot of country stuff, vintage country that I like, because I always say new country for me is Dwight Yoakam. But anyway, a lot of great channel, funny guy, and his full channel name is Ernest Eldridge, the Trailer Park Pimp. So I don't know if that Ernie was a reference to the Trailer Park Boys, excellent TV show from the East Coast of Canada. You can watch them on Netflix now. Fucking hilarious. Excuse the language, but there's a lot of language in the Trailer Park Boys. So check it out. Great show. And my friend here, the Trailer Park Pimp, Ernie, check out his channel. So what Ernie's got going on here, he's saying my first tag video, 200 videos on YouTube. That's how many videos he's made. And as he says, the question in the description, here it is, low 5 for you right here. So there's five questions here. I'm going to keep it all country because he's pretty much a country channel. So question, there's 5 here, and it's just, let's get over there and help him celebrate, even though there's no prize. Come on. I know it's low end, but we can do it. Oh, yeah. Excellent. What's your favorite country album? Coming in hot out of the gate with that one, Ernie. Couldn't pick it's just one of those. What's your favorite candy bar? I don't know, but I'll go with this one as my favorite today. It's Chris Christopherson's debut. Normally it's just self-titled, but this is a different cover here on this one. Me and Bobby McGee, of course, that track written by him and performed by Janis Joplin. That's on here, among others, right? Other Side of Nowhere, Casey's Last Ride, Blame It on the Stones, Make It Through the Night. I mean, Sunday Morning Coming Down, just absolute classic. And there's a blurb on the back here written by Johnny Cash. This copy previously owned by Trudy. She autographed that for me in a Sharpie. That was nice of her. So yeah, really top-notch debut here. Yeah, of course, he was on the Monument label, and then he later was on, maybe he went to Capricorn, I think. But anyway, debut. Covers a little beat on this one, but man, this record plays like it just came off the shelf, brand new. So my favorite country record, it's going to be Chris, late great Chris. He just passed. He died over in Hawaii. Neighbors with Bill Kreutzmann, drummer from the Dead. He's living over there. Not that they were next door neighbors, but they're both Hawaiian guys. So anyway, Tam Tam, runner up here. Your Good Girl's going to go bad, Tammy. Yeah, 4 husbands. I mean, she might have had 5, actually. I lost track. Ernie, you can correct me on that one. Of course, this one, of course, produced by the late, great Billy Sherrill. He was like the Phil Spector of Nashville, man. Look up Billy Sherrill. Just fantastic. So this one, title track, Your Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad, apartment number 9, Don't Come Home and Drinking with Lovin' on Your Mind. Of course, Loretta Lynn does a really good version of that one too. So Tam Tam, runner-up. Another runner-up here, daughter of Johnny Cash. We got Roseanne right here. I think this is her second album, and it's just called Right or Wrong. And title track on that's great. Look at her looking foxy on the back here in 1979. I looked her up. She's 70 now. It still looks great. And she was just in Buffalo recently. I should have went, but it was like a work night. I was like, and Patty wouldn't go. It'd just be me. But maybe next time, Roseanne, you're only 70. See you in Buffalo. Yeah, right on. So anyway, title track, Man Smart, Woman Smarter. Grateful Dead, of course, always did. That was part of their live set. Great one. And she does a duet here with Bobby Bare called No Memories, Hanging Around right here. So anyway, this one produced right here by Rodney Crowell, right? That's her ex-husband. So Rodney, formerly of Emmylou Harris's Hot Band. Here he is with Diamonds and Dirt. I think this is his 5th album. This one, I think, from 1981, 82. Not long after this one came out. But anyway, they were husband and wife, right? Kiss, kiss, right? Then until they were no more kiss, kiss. And they got divorced in the early 90s, 3 kids later. But amicable split, I guess, from all accounts. They worked together on a couple things later on. But they didn't work on any romance. So anyway, Kiss Kiss, Bye Bye, Rodney Crowell, Diamonds and Dirt. This is pretty new country for me, but yeah, it's great. Great ballad on here. I didn't know I Could Lose You. Look that up. Great ballad. Crazy Baby kicks it off. That's kind of got a rockabilly vibe to it. She's Crazy for Leaving. That's another one that's got kind of a rockabilly vibe to it. There he is looking like a cowboy doing Diamonds and Dirt with a mullet walking down the street right there. So it's Rodney Crowell and Roseanne Cash. All right. What do we got here? Who is an artist? Who is the coolest artist you ever had the chance to meet? Well, I'm going off. This isn't country. It's rock and roll. And there's myself and Sebastian Bach, from Skid Row. He's still active today. There's the guys right there on the back. So anyway, yeah, there I am. That was at an after party at the Juno Awards in Canada. I think the year on that was 1993 or 94. I went to that. And I was up in this hotel after the awards. I don't know. I can't remember how I get in there. But, MGK knows people, gets around. And and Natalie Richard on my other side there. This is pre-Patty Cheesecake. That was she was a VJ at Much Music. That's the equivalent of the MTV in the States, right? So anyway, there I am with Sebastian Bach. And that's who's the coolest artist you ever had a chance to meet. So actually, remember, he was drinking just Labatt's Blue. He wasn't Mr. Fancy Pants. And I shot the shit with him for probably 2 or 3 minutes. And that was it, and moved on. So anyway, there you go, Sebastian Bach. Cheers to you, Sebastian. Who is an artist you think more people need to know about? I mentioned him earlier. It's Bobby Bare doing that duet over there with that Roseanne Cash. He did that duet with her, and he was active early 63, 64, right through till his death, I think around 2014. Miracle he lived that long. So hard-living dude. There he is on the back. Looks like this was a radio station copy for Fredonia State College, not too far from here. Yeah, the call letters written on there in Sharpie. And this, of course, a white label promo copy. Really nice. And yeah, just really solid honky tonk, drinking tunes. But it's got some ballads. Too many nights alone on this one. Big Dupree's a good one. And Yard Full of Rusty Cars. Does that spell redneck or what? I got a yard full of rusty cars. Can't drive them. They just sit in the yard. So anyway, what do we got? Album that reminds me of your grandparents. Well, my grandparents, I don't remember listening to a lot of music, but my dad and my dad's father, where is he over here? This is my grandfather right here. No, it's my grandfather Luke on my paternal side. Great guy, very laid back, quiet engineer, brilliant man, good sense of humor. But, of course, my dad and his parents, it's all the big band era because I was born, my parents were in their 40s when I was born. So I was a late arrival. So they grew up in that World War II era when they got together. My parents were married in the late 40s. That's stuff like this, like Pres Prado, right? Mambo number 8 right there. I think this was redone by some guy early 2000s, late 90s, turned it into some kind of dance song. But anyway, there it is. It's Pres Prado, big hits, right? And then this chick, she's having a Prado mania attack right here. She can't stop dancing to Pres Prado. So it's just really fun. Like, it's mambo music, right? So do it. And right there is Mambo number 5 again right there. And Mangoes. Then you got Mango Django right there. So anyway, I was looking for my maracas. I don't know where they are. I was feeling inspired for a minute there. All right. Who are you wanting an album from in 2026? Well, that's a tough one. There's a lot of stuff out there that I'm looking for. Off the top of my head, there's a Status Quo thing live at Wacken, that festival in Germany. I'd like to get that. Yeah, just, I don't know. Santa brings me a couple of things because Santa's always listening. So my Christmas stocking, there's usually, right by there, usually some vinyl. They don't fit in the Christmas stocking, the records. Santa doesn't force them in because that would damage them, right? So anyway, what else we got going on here? So thread news. It's not a thread, it's a tag. So yeah, it's funny because Ernie called his a tag. Technically, there's only one tag, and that's the annual vinyl tag. Used to be hosted by this guy, Rob Walker, right? He would always put out 20 questions, I think it was always. And it was always right on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And it was a great way, when I was starting my channel, a great way to discover new channels and just find out what they're all about, because it's a bunch of mix of questions, predominantly questions about music. But the guy that's putting it on this year is this guy, because Rob retired. And Rob was actually right here. I sent a complimentary jacket from Embryonic Brian. So there's Rob right there. He's too busy right there. He's on his way, walking down the street in his new jacket on his way to a Morrissey concert. So have a good time tonight, Rob, at the concert, because David's taking over on the vinyl tag. So anyway, David Atkinson, Music and More trips to Buffalo, because I was talking to him last weekend. He's pretty sure he's coming again for round 2 in Buffalo next summer. But in the meantime, he's putting together a vinyl tag. So stay tuned. He's going to drop it this weekend. I want to say on the 14th. So that's going to be Sunday. Be there, be square, and just answer the questions. I'm pretty sure David's doing a full 20 questions, but they'll be good. And like I said, most of the vinyl tags are always music related, vinyl related, whatever. But I think David will inject with a couple of maybe personal questions, which are nice to get to know people beyond just their musical tastes, right? People are into other shit, right? They watch people like me. They watch Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, all kinds of stuff. You never know what people are getting up to on Saturday night. Could be out walking around wearing a jacket like Dave here. So anyway, yeah, nice. The two of them, they can go. There you are. Where is it here? Where's our friend gone? Oh, there he is. There's Rob Walker. Yeah, the two wear those jackets to the Den Bosch thing in the spring. I don't know if you'll need warm coats like that, guys, but yeah, do it. So anyway, what did I listened to some music too this week? Paola's Canadian classic, Eyes of a Stranger here. I think it's their debut. They might have had an EP right before this. I think this is 1981. Produced by Mick Ronson, right? Good friend of Steve over at As for Alice. And Yeah, it's just Bob Rock is the one guy and Paul Hyde is the other guy. That's Paul Hyde. There's a picture of Bob Rock on the inside. So Bob Rock, story goes, there he is right there. Later went on to produce Metallica, The Cult, Aerosmith, big producer out of Vancouver, British Columbia. There they are. These guys were marketed as kind of a new wave outfit, and rightly so. They were kind of pop, new wave, but really great record. I forgot how good this was. I actually listened through it all the way through. They're really only known for that one hit, Eyes of a Stranger, but there's some other great moments on here. Some old songs are real beauty, and Romance is a really good song that kicks us off. There's a track called Hastings Street too. That's a main street in Vancouver, downtown. So anyway, yeah, the Palos. What else was I listening to? Oh yeah, see over on the wall there. There's a Scorpions poster in the corner. So I was hanging some artwork last weekend. So I was like, hey, I'm going to listen to this from 1985. This was recorded across a couple of venues. I believe San Diego, California, Los Angeles and San Diego. Where else? Cologne, Germany. And that's kind of it. There's the guys on the stage. All right. There's Klaus Meine down in front. There he is down in front again saying, hey, we're going to sting ya, right, with the Scorpions. I'm going to rock you like a hurricane. So can't say much more about that hasn't already been said. Wicked live album. 12-inch single here. I was all over the place. Rankin Roger and Dave Wakeling. There's Dave Wakeling and there's Rankin Roger. A couple guys from English Beat. Later on, they were in a band called General Public. This was just like this some benefit because they were trying to free Nelson Mandela, right? So, and it was produced by Elvis Costello. So it's just a really cool ska dance song. Look it up. The Special AKA is what they called the project. And there were a bunch of other people involved here, a bunch of no names that I don't know. But there's the whole lineup right there, the Special AKA. But the two guys, main guys, Rankin Roger and Dave Wakeling. What else? Yeah, last Sunday I was just having a mellow yellow, you know what I mean? Psychedelic Sunday, chilling out with some JJ Cale. Not to be confused with John Cale, a friend of Embryonic. This is great. It's Naturally, right? There's the name of the album. I was feeling naturally when I was listening to this, I can tell you that. Sinking into the couch, right? Anyway, Call Me the Breeze. He wrote that tune. Great tune. It's been done by a couple of people. Call the Doctor. Nowhere to Run. Of course, After Midnight, made really huge by Eric Clapton. Original version on here. But yeah, this cover looks like it's been dragged through a war zone. But the record, again, I was lucky. That was one I found in a dollar bin years ago and cleaned up really great. The guy we lost this year, J.D. Souther, John David Souther, friend of the Eagles. Later, he was on some TV show called 30-something, some drama I remember in the early 90s. And yeah, You're Only Lonely, the title track. If You Don't Want My Love is a really good one. It's almost got a calypso sound to that, the percussion. Last in Love. This is a really solid record, and it's in mint condition, as you can see, like new. It's great. His first two records are really fantastic. Little Traffic, Steve Winwood and Friends, right here. Freedom Rider, Empty Pages. Yeah, John Barleycorn, Must Die. There you go. There's the guys. That's a pretty cool on the inside. Young Stevie Winwood down in front. So yeah, there he is right there. Hi, Steve. How's it going? Cheerio. All right. Steve would have got along well with Linda. There she is. Linda, this is technically her solo album. Friend of Tony from Two from the Trunk. He's a big fan. Everybody knows that. Tony, I think Tony knew Emmylou in another life. So Homegrown, the name of this one. Who doesn't like a little homegrown, right? There she is, hanging out. Little hippie, getting her hippie on in the backyard, hanging out. So Baby You've Been on My Mind. That's a Bob Dylan cover she does on here. Randy Newman song on here called Bet No One Ever Hurt This Bad. Break My Mind, that's another good one. John Loudermilk, another famous songwriter, he wrote that one. So this was technically her first solo album because she had the Stone Ponies for 2 releases before this. And the story goes, she still had a record contract, a 3-record deal here with Capitol. And so she did this one on her own and brought in some new talent. So anyway, they're on the Capitol label. So yeah, she's hand-sewn, homegrown. Yeah, good combo. And sending out Rest in Peace this week, one of the best vocalists ever. He gets classified as a country musician, but I don't think so. It's more Tex-Mex. It's just fabulous. It's the late, great Raul Malo, and of course, lead vocalist for the Mavericks. He passed this week. Terminal cancer, very sad. By all accounts, just a wonderful human being, family man. There's the band here. There's Raul right there in his healthier days. This album was just released right after the COVID thing. It was actually during COVID in 2020, and that was their label that they owned, actually, Mono Mundo Records. Kind of that Dawn of the Day of the Dead artwork, really cool. This record is all in Spanish. That's why it's called En Español. And I love it. It's really good. Mio Vida Vivir is a favorite of mine. That's a Julio Iglesias song. All you Julio fans out there, Ben Rankins, I'm talking to you. And it's just fantastic. So very sad. And even sad, it's just as sad that it's one of those things. Right before we were moving here, they were playing that summer. And I remember another channel, Matthew Street. He went to the show because he did a video and he was talking about, he was a Massachusetts guy. And I was like, shit, I really should have went to that. I remember it was an hour drive and we were packing the house up and I was like, found a million excuses not to go. And now I'll never get to see Raul Malo. That's unfortunate. But anyway, yeah, and I was listening to that. And then I thought another great vocalist, king of some wonderful ballads, the late great Charlie Rich. And he's fabulous. And I almost lost my mind. If you want to look up a really good country ballad. But I don't want you to lose your mind by this video going too long. We're already at 20 minutes, but it is the Utica Club and it's Friday. So I treat these things, it's like, it's a conversation. So if I had you over, for example, to hang out with me, I wouldn't say, I'm making a short, and kick you out. It's a conversation we're having here. So 20 minutes, 5 minutes, but if you come over, I won't kick you out. I won't make it like a short. My conversations go long. My conversations go long and they're very humorous. So on that note, Randy's going to say goodbye to y'all, and that'll do it. I'm going to throw one more country in there for our man, Ernest Eldridge there. Get over there and subscribe to his channel. I'll leave a link to all these channels that I've mentioned that will be in the description. And get over there and do Ernie's celebration of 200 videos, right? I think I've made 200 videos. I might have made 2 million by now. But anyway, another teaser. It's getting on in December. By New Year's Eve, I will be launching my annual funding drive, PBS style, with Patty Cheesecake here. And we're pushing to a quadrillion. So it's trillion times 4. When a trillion just wasn't enough last year, I thought I'm doing it. I'm going to do it 4 times over, man. So keep an even number, quadrillion. So anyway, that'll do it. Friday cheers from everybody here at the Utica Club. All the best. I'll see you in the next video.